The rain had been falling long before I reached the house. Not the gentle English drizzle people write poems about. This rain was heavy, angry, relentless, like the sky itself had decided Grenton Moor should be punished tonight. The taxi refused to go any further. "That's as close as I'm taking you, mate," the driver said, not meeting my eyes. "Road past this floods. Always does." I paid him without arguing. By the time I stepped out, his car was already reversing away, tires spinning slightly on the wet gravel, as if the place behind me frightened even machines. I stood alone. Ahead, barely visible through sheets of rain, Grenton Manor rose from the darkness. It didn't look abandoned. It looked like it was waiting. 3 stories tall. Stone blackened with age and moisture. Windows tall and narrow, like watching eyes. No lights on, except one faint glow on the second floor, flickering weakly as if struggling to stay alive. I told myself it was an electrical fault. I told myself a lot of things that night. The wind pushed at my back, urging me forward. My boots sank into the soaked earth as I walked the long path to the front door, rain dripping from my hair into my collar. The door was already unlocked. That should have been my first warning inside. The manor smelled wrong. Not dust. Not mold. Something older. Damp stone, rotting wood, and beneath it all, a faint organic scent, like warm breath trapped in cold air. The entrance hall was vast. My footsteps echoed too loudly, as if the house were empty enough to swallow sound, and yet somehow full enough to listen. I closed the door. The sound echoed far longer than it should have. I stood there, soaked, heart pounding, listening. Nothing. Just the rain against the windows. I found the caretaker's room off the kitchen, small, plain, clearly an afterthought in a house built to impress. I dropped my bag, changed into dry clothes, and made tea on the ancient stove. The kettle screamed. The sound felt wrong. Too sharp. Too alive. I laughed nervously at myself and carried my mug to the sitting room, where a fire had been laid but not lit. I didn't bother. Something about flames in that room made my skin crawl. Midnight came quietly. The clock on the wall ticked once. Then twice. Then. I heard it. A sound so subtle at first I almost missed it. A slow, deep inhale. From the walls. I froze. The sound came again. Exhale. Long. Controlled. Like someone sleeping very carefully. The house was breathing that I stood perfectly still, mug trembling in my hand. "In your head," I whispered. "Just old pipes." But pipes don't pause. Pipes don't adjust. The breathing changed when I moved. It slowed. Matched my steps. I backed away, heart racing, until my shoulders hit the wall. The breathing stopped. For 3 seconds. Then it resumed, right behind me. I screamed and spun around. Nothing. Just wallpaper. Old, peeling wallpaper. But it was warm. I yanked my hand back as if burned. The warmth faded instantly. The house exhaled. Sleep was impossible. I walked the corridors instead, torch in hand, rain hammering the windows like fists demanding entry. Every sound echoed twice, once naturally, and once delayed, distorted. That's when I found the first journal. In the library. A thin notebook hidden behind old encyclopedias. The handwriting was neat. Careful. Day 12, the house makes sounds now. I've stopped asking the owners about it. They never reply. I swallowed. Another page. Day 21, it breathes when I'm alone. It stops when others visit. Another journal followed. Then another. Different handwriting. Same story. Caretakers. Decades apart. All ending the same way. It learns you. It copies you. It keeps you. The final journal was fresh. 2 weeks old. The last line read. It is breathing through me. The lights went out, darkness swallowed the manor. The breathing grew louder. Faster. Walls creaked as if stretching muscles long unused. Then. Knocking. From inside the walls. 3 slow taps. Tap. 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 I ran. Upstairs. The house shifted. Corridors lengthened. Doors appeared where there hadn't been any before. I slammed into a bedroom and locked the door, barricading it with a wardrobe, chest heaving. The breathing was inside the room now. The walls bulged slightly. Like ribs. Please, I whispered. I'll leave. The house responded by whispering back, in my own voice. You already belong here. The wall split open like wet skin. A hand emerged. Gray. Thin. Then a face. Hollow eyes. My face. But wrong. It smiled with my mouth. I stayed, it said calmly. You ran. I screamed until my throat burned. It stepped closer, joints cracking unnaturally. The house needs caretakers, it said. It feeds on attention. On loneliness. It reached for me. The floor collapsed and I fell into darkness. The walls closed around me, warm and damp, pulsing gently. I was inside the house. Not metaphorically. Literally. Faces pressed through the walls, frozen screams, whispering mouths, watching eyes. Caretakers. Hundreds of them. Still alive. Still breathing. The house inhaled. I inhaled with it. I couldn't stop, time lost meaning. I felt the house learning me. My memories replayed along the walls like projections. My voice echoed endlessly. The breathing slowed. Content. The storm outside ended. The manor stood silent once more. A week later, a new caretaker arrived. I opened the door for him. And the house breathed softly at midnight.